pretty sky. Sun is shining. Last night, the moon was shining and the reflections on the water were beautiful. Pretty time of year. Let's breathe together. Start with your posture. On your back with your legs uncrossed. Your bed, the floor, the sofa, maybe your recliner kicked back, or sitting upright in a chair. Rock side to side on your sit bones and then plant them evenly and firmly. Your knees at 90 degrees, your feet hip distance apart with the toes facing forward. Now lift your chest and tuck your chin back towards your neck. And check the tension in your body to see if the tension to hold your posture has spread into places you don't need it. Check your jaw. It's a good checkpoint, Charlie, to notice any extra tension. And let your jaw go slack and your tongue be limp in your mouth. Put one hand on your belly and one hand on your rib cage so you can feel the breath and the body move together. As you pull the air in, pull it in through both nostrils and let the nose do its job of warming and filtering and humidifying the air. And pull it in so that as you pull it in, your belly rounds up. It's your diaphragm pushing down and making space for the air to come down to the bottom lobes of the lungs where the majority of the blood circulates, and you get that exchange between carbon dioxide and oxygen that maintains healthy balance in your body. And inhale through both nostrils, and the exhale either out through your mouth or out through your nose. Good. And this is the constant, the backdrop is the breath, maintaining that healthy breath pattern through both nostrils and rounding up on the inhale. And flattening and lengthening on the exhale. Good. And now do some isometric exercises to help you isolate the tension in your body and release it. Bring your arms, your elbows alongside your rib cage and your forearms in front of you parallel to the floor. Now squeeze the elbows into the rib cage and make it as tight as you can and make a tight fist. And now hold this position and breathe. And notice your face. And notice your neck. And isolate the tension as you breathe, holding the elbows and the fists tight. Squeezing your rib cage as you breathe. It's challenging to maintain tension and breathe with the full body breath. That's why we practice. And when your breath is complete with 3 to 5 breaths, release the tension. And feel how good it feels to release that tension. There's a whoosh of blood and energy. Good. Now do it again. Your arms alongside your body, elbows against the rib cage. Forearms out in front of you, parallel to the floor. And squeeze the elbows into the rib cage and tighten the fist and hold and breathe. 3 to 5 breaths, noticing the rest of your body. And are your feet tight? They don't need to be. Is your jaw tight? It doesn't need to be. And when you've completed the 3 to 5 breaths, release and enjoy the feel. Good. Now bring your attention down to your bottom, to your buttocks. And at this level we have organs of elimination. And so let's tighten the 2 organs of elimination separate from one another. Forward is that space that they call the Kegel exercise. They use it to tighten the urinary flow and strengthen those muscles. So bring your attention there and tighten right there at the front. And hold it with 3 to 5 breaths. And when the breath is complete, release the tension. And now move the focus further back to the level of the rectum. They call this the root area. And now squeeze your buttocks again and tighten the muscles at the root. And hold it for 3 to 5 breaths. Feel how tight your buttocks are. And see if you can isolate to the back, to the root. And when the 3 to 5 breaths are complete, release. And now do it again. Move to the front. To the urinary area and tighten. And hold the tension with the breath. And when the 3 to 5 breaths are complete, release. And then move the tension to the rear, to the root, and tighten. And hold the tension with the breath. And when the breath is complete, release. If you haven't done this exercise before, it might not be so easy, but with practice you can do it. Learning to differentiate the tension from the front to the back and build the muscles. Good. Now for our trapezius muscle exercise that we do every morning. It's such a good exercise and something that we want to do during the day. Anytime we stand up from a computer or anytime we feel a little tight in that upper body area. Arms crossed, hands lightly on the elbows with the arms resting against the belly, the stomach, wherever they fall. Now keeping the arms in that position with the face forward, rotate the elbows, the arms, the hands, all the way to the left, keeping the arms low, not raising them up, and keeping the face forward. And then move them all the way to the right, again making sure they're low and the face is forward. Coordinate this movement with your breath, maintaining the breath as your arms move. Checking to make sure your arms stay low because you're addressing that lower trapezius. And making sure your face stays forward. Good. Now bring the arms up to the chest level at the level of the heart and do the same motion again. Face forward. Rotate the shoulders and arms over to the left, and then rotate them over to the right. And breathe, coordinating this with your breath. And do it several times. And then raise the arms up. Same position, but the arms are up high as you can comfortably. And in this position, face forward, arms high. Rotate to the left, and then rotate the shoulders and arms to the right. You may hear some pops and cracks as your body adjusts. That's good. And when you've rotated back and forth several times, coordinated with the breath, release and bring the arms back down. Good. Now breathe in through both nostrils and do that breath that brings the air all the way down and fills all the way to the top. And when you get to the top, take in 3 extra sniffs. And then exhale either out through your mouth or through your nose and all the way to the bottom. And at the bottom, 3 puffs to let out the last bit. And then inhale in again, all the way to the top with the 3 sniffs at the top. And exhale out as your body lengthens and flattens all the way down to the bottom, and at the bottom 3 puffs. Good. Aware of the breath and the balance between an inhale and an exhale, and can you balance them so they're both the same, so you inhale as much as you exhale? And you can regulate that in your life. When we're under stress and there's lots of tense activity in our life, our tendency is to breathe shallow. And sometimes that's important, but it's also important not to get stuck there. And after action, or when the stress are no longer there, to even the breath out again. And you can use this technique of sniff and puff to regulate yourself and bring yourself back to that ground zero. Good. Now keep breathing through both nostrils and aware of your eyes. Can you roll your eyes up and look right at that spot between the eyebrows and hold your gaze there as you breathe? Yogis call this spot the third eye, the eye that sees within. And it stimulates the glands in the brain, the pineal gland. And it's been studied for centuries with many theories. And what we know about the brain is great, and what we don't know is vast. And use this ancient technique of rolling the eyes up and looking at that spot between the brow to address the pineal gland within your brain, encouraging it to secrete. It's strongly involved, they say, in circadian rhythms and the secretion of melatonin. It's also thought that it's highly understimulated and needs to be activated. Keep breathing through both nostrils, rounding up, your eyes rolled up, holding your gaze at that third eye. Centuries ago, a French philosopher and mathematician, Descartes, speculated that the pineal gland is the seat of the soul. Well, that's been discussed and written about over time. Perhaps it's true. Continue to breathe and hold your gaze at that spot. Breathing in through both nostrils, rounding up. Exhaling and releasing down. And feel the tension of holding the gaze and how it feels inside your head. And breathe, knowing that with each breath, you're stimulating that long vagus nerve. May that long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Have a great day.